What's up, everybody? It's Mazzi here. Live Zone Sports back at it with another segment, going to dynamics on the hardwood. I'm here with my co-host, the one, the only Live Zone. What's going on?
What's going on? We got a lot to talk about.
I know we got an interesting one for this week. The NBA Power Rankings for Week 3, and my God, they started up some controversy here.
Yes, they did.
I cannot believe my eyes. I'm going to pass it off to you to start, and I want to hear exactly what you have to say about it because I am up in arms.
All right, so I'm just gonna go 1 through 10. All right, so number 1, we have the Boston Celtics. I completely agree with that. They're on a hot streak. I think that they're probably, in my eyes, the second best team when every team is healthy. And I like the pick because Jamal Murray got hurt. Number 2, they have the Denver Nuggets. Once again, I like that pick because I think that they're the best team overall when everybody's healthy, and losing Jamal Murray kind of, took away from that. So I do like Nuggets at number 2. Number 3, I personally like it. I like the Philadelphia 76ers at 3. Here's the reason why. The trade just happened with James Harden, as you heard on Live Zone last week. And basically what we've been proving is that the 76ers won that trade because the 76ers are gaining and the Clippers just lost another game. So, and they didn't just lose it by, 2 or 3 points. They lost it by like 10, 12 points. So I think that Philadelphia at number 3 definitely works for me. Number 4, again, this one works for me as well. Golden State Warriors, can never count them out. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond, Andrew Wiggins. I mean, the team is set. I like the number 4 pick as a Golden State. Here's where we get a little here's where it goes down the drain. All right, you guys did great, but number 5 is the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, come on. How are we going to put Atlanta at number 5 when I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear what the explanation is. I know that they have a 4-2 record, but looking at the other teams that are ahead of them, like I put the LA Lakers around here more than the Atlanta Hawks, and the LA Lakers aren't doing too hot this year. I personally think that the Atlanta Hawks are going to be a bust team, and they will not be in the top 5 coming week 4. All right, or top 5 coming week 4 or 5, whatever it is. You know what I mean? My number 6 that we got here is the Dallas Mavericks. I like it to the point. I think that they should be number 5. Luka and Kyrie are doing their thing. Tim Hardaway Jr. is doing his thing. Dwight Powell's doing his thing. You got people on here that, are Williams. Even Grant Williams is doing good, and that's surprising because he couldn't do good on the Celtics for 3 years. So that's crazy. But now we go into number 7. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know. I get it.
What are we doing, ESPN? What are we doing?
I get this is why you come to Live Zone Sports instead of ESPN. It's real clear right now.
Like, God damn.
I get it. They're undefeated at home. They just beat the Boston Celtics. They're at a 4-2 record. I get it. But, number 7 is kind of a bit much, especially for, 2-time defensive player getting dunked on by Jaylen Brown for the dunk of the year. That's crazy. So then after that, number 8. Blasphemy. Why the Milwaukee Bucks at number 8? I don't understand this at all. They're my number 6 team, in all honesty. Yes, they're having a hard time, but that's because Damian Lillard needs to fit into the system. It's going to take some time, like I said at the beginning of the trade. I personally think that the Milwaukee Bucks are more dangerous than the Minnesota Timberwolves, than the Atlanta Hawks, and almost more as dangerous than the Dallas Mavericks because they're in the Eastern Conference. So I think that that's a little off. Number 9, the New Orleans Pelicans. What? I just don't. I don't understand this, and I
but
get
Zion, dude. But Zion, dude.
That is the whole reason. Zion went off for a few dunks this year, and they were like, "Oh, top 5 team." It's going to happen. They're going to be destined for greatness. No. All right. Listen, they have injury problems. More than half of their starters are injured right now. They're going to lose a lot of games. Zion is not going to be able to handle the ball for the full freaking game because he's not in shape. I think that having them at 9 is a little bit too much. And then they have number 10 as the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't like them at number 10. They're a top 8 team, in my opinion. I know that they're having a tough time right now, but they're going to hit stride eventually, especially with the team that they got. Gabe Vincent, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Davis, Christian Wood, LeBron James. I'm sorry, their team is stacked. They're going to hit stride eventually. So I think that having them at number 10 is underrating, I guess. You know, I mean, it's overwhelming for a Lakers fan, in my opinion. Now, for my 1 through 10, for me, that I personally have the Celtics as number 1 as well. I then have the Nuggets as number 2. I do have the 76ers at 3 and the Warriors at 4. Mavericks are 5 for me. Then after that, I have the Bucks at 6, okay? And here's a team that not a lot of people are talking about right now. They just got their players back. They won the game by a lot last game. The Cleveland Cavaliers are looking phenomenal after Jarrett Allen and Darius Garland came on the floor. So they're definitely on my list. I think that's, 7 right there. My number 8 is the Orlando Magic. A lot of teams are losing to them, and they're playing really good defense. If you just saw Cole Anthony, that block was insane that he actually had on the New Orleans Pelicans, so that's crazy. But the Orlando Magic are very underrated right now. And then after that, we go off into the Western Conference. I have the Lakers at my number 9. I think that they could be 8, but once again, they have to hit that stride. And then my 10 is definitely the OKC Thunder. They're playing really good defense. They had one bad game against the Nuggets where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he got shortened to 7 points in the game where he was getting locked down the complete game, and they were still in the race for the game until the third quarter, where they got blown out in the fourth. So I think that this team is going to be a force to reckon with it pretty soon, and I think that that's my 10th team for the NBA right now.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm fully on board with majority of everything you're saying. Again, I think having these Pelicans in this list, the Timberwolves in this list, and the Atlanta Hawks in this list are absolutely ridiculous. If we're looking at these as teams that could win a game yesterday, for sure. But if we're looking at teams that can win a 7-game series or are going to be in the conversation at the end of the year battling for a playoff spot, Timberwolves, Hawks, and Pelicans are battling for a wild card, a play-in game, a play-in tournament, whatever you want to call it. They're not a 7-1. They're an 8-10 team. So that's just blasphemy for me. For me, these power rankings might as well be a 6-team power rankings. Give me the Celtics, give me the Nuggets, give me the Warriors, give me the Sixers, give me the Bucks, and give me the Cavs. Okay? Bottom line, that should be top 6. The rest, you can filter in whoever you want from there, but putting in a team as though the Atlanta Hawks in a 5 position above a team as the Bucks at an 8 position who are trying to get their mojo together, whereas Atlanta's been the same team for 5 damn years. This is blasphemy and ridiculous. You think Ice Trae is going to win his games and drop his 40 points and get his buckets, but other than that, is that a complete team in the NBA? No, not by any means. Am I picking them in a 7-game series against 15 different teams in this league that are going to make the playoffs this year? Absolutely. No, I am not. They're going to be the last one on my list to win a series against anybody, and I mean anybody. I would even put the Pelicans above the Hawks. That's how crazy that is to me.
And so,
it's ridiculous to me that put the Minnesota Timberwolves in the 5 if you were gonna do that, and even then it's still a problem. But Atlanta Hawks in this list, I nearly dropped my phone. I nearly broke my screen. I nearly needed to go to Apple again. Um, I I don't know what to say about these rankings except whoever is on this ESPN team doing these power rankings needs to talk to our guys at ECSI, okay?
Facts. I definitely agree
Because
with you
what's
because
going on?
I guarantee you nobody's betting on Atlanta right
No. This is crazy. Um, like I said, those were my six earlier. Celtics, Denver, Philly, Golden State, Bucks, and the Cavs. You can put whoever you want 7 through 10. I think the Lakers deserve to be in there. I also think the Mavericks deserve to be in there as well. Put them at number 7. But other than that, it's plug and place whoever you want. I think it's those 7 teams and then everybody else in the league, and that's the discussion we should be having right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Now, I have a question for you. Is there
Yeah,
a team or multiple teams that you think could sneak into that top 7 where it's like, all right, well, now this is a conversation?
absolutely. It's all about how they come out and play, though. I mean, I think it's at this point in the season, any of those top 7 are up for grabs. I mean, it's week 3. What
Yeah.
we've played less than 10 games for most teams. For all teams, probably. I think the most anybody's played is 9. But yeah, I think there's plenty of teams that could sneak in there and surprise people throughout the league. I mean, like the Knicks last year surprised a lot of people. Where are the Knicks on this list? It's the same team pretty much. That's an easy one to think of. OKC, like you're saying, if they can come together and get all their stuff uh, together, I think they're good. Memphis Grizzlies without John Morant right now, just
Ugh.
going 0 for everything. But I mean,
That.
if they had Morant, something could work out there. But other than that, really, I think and the Phoenix Suns. We haven't even talked about that. The
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns not being on this top 10 list is pretty ridiculous as well. I mean, you got KD Books out with an injury, so I understand why he's not on the list right now.
Bails out with an
Beal's out, so
injury.
it's just Kevin Durant balling. But what about when that team comes back together? Like, it's not like they're going to be the worst team in the league when these people come back. They're going to be right back on track. So
Yeah.
I think it's early enough for more teams to hop into this list and overtake some spots. And this is a very fluid list, and people can change places left and right. But right now, I think it's those 7 teams that we talk about one last time. It's the Celtics, Denver, Golden State, Philly, the Mavericks, the Cavs, and the Bucks. And that's it. Those 7 teams. That's who you're rocking with that are for sure that are going to be there till the end of the year, I believe, in my books. Whether or not a major person gets injured or not, I still think they're strong enough to make it to the playoffs with the teams they have. So that's just what it is.
All right. So for me, I have 2 teams that could sneak into that. And they're both young teams, actually. Like I said, already on my top 10 list, I have the Orlando Magic. If they keep playing the way that they're playing, this team is going to be a very high playoff team, like a 4 or 5 seed, in my opinion. I think that being the Orlando Magic that we've known in recent history, getting Banchero, getting Markel Fultz, getting Wendell Carter Jr., getting Franz Wagner, this team is really young and really built to be a playoff team and a contender in the future if they keep on playing defense the way that they are. My number 2 team that I have, Houston Rockets. All right. Now I'm going to tell you why. The Houston Rockets, they're at the 8th seed in the West right now at 3-3. But here's the thing. All right. In games, okay, this is the scores. 122-97 beat the Sacramento Kings. All right. 107-89 beat the Sacramento Kings again. Then after that, they beat the Hornets 128-119. So in every game that they've won so far, it's been by double digits or right next to double digits. All right. They lost to the Spurs 122-126, still putting up over 115, right? They have one bad game against the Magic, but that's because the Magic, like I said, their defense is clicking. They lost 116-86. And then after that, again, over 110 110 or over 109 or over 100 points. They beat the Miami Heat in the preseason here, 110 to 114. So it's not like they're not putting up points. They're putting up a lot of points in a game right now for a Houston Rockets team that last year we saw as like the bum team of the NBA. You know what I mean? The worst of the worst. So to see them graduate into being a contender and as of right now in the playoff picture, I think for, like Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. and Sengun, I think that those three right there, adding Dylan Brooks over to it, I mean, this team is going to be really good in my opinion. And Fred VanVleet, I forgot, my bad. But this team is going to be something, and I think that this is going to be a playoff team.
I agree with your Magic pick. I'm not so sold on the Houston Rockets. I don't think any team that Dylan Brooks plays on has a chance for anything just based upon his karma and how he looks. Yeah, don't give me the Rockets, but definitely give me the Magic.
All right. Well, let us know what your top picks are. Let us know if you agree with ESPN or if you agree with Live Zone or Mazzi. But yeah, we're going to head over to the extra point. So make sure you stay tuned for that.